So first and foremost, I just want to say hi, Stephanie, and thank you very, very much for joining us here on our Talk.
Oh,
We wanted to just get to know you a little bit more, and so we're talking completely about recruiting today. So we wanted to start off with basically a question about you personally, and I want to know, what was your first job experience like as a candidate? Like, what was the first time you've applied for a job? What was your experience like?
my very first job was working at the Disney store. And I remember,
That's cool.
well, yeah, it was cool at the time, walking around the mall with my resume and kind of just like, guys, like, yeah, it's crazy to think that it still happens today. And it happened when I was looking for a job, is the fact that I would walk around, hand in my resume, not even knowing who's hiring. And I guess as a young teenager, not really having the experience, it was kind of really scary walking into, a store and asking for a store manager. Like, it's definitely intimidating. So I remember thinking, like, it's okay, you're gonna get through this, you're gonna find a job, everybody goes through this. And it was the Disney store that gave me my first chance, and it was a great part-time job. I learned a lot. I was also like a crazy Disney princess as a child, so it was really cool to see other kids come in there and ask me questions about princesses, and I was like, yes, I have the answer for that.
Really, honestly, what started that?
Yeah. It was actually through my brother's own frustration of looking for a job. He honestly thought that there had to be an easier way. He was looking for a new role, and he was just getting really frustrated in the process. And we do like to admit, at the time, he was using the dating app Tinder, and kind of put two and two together. Yeah.
Any
And
success with Tinder? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I should ask that.
girlfriend that you met through Tinder, and they've been together for a while. So, yeah, he found success. So, yeah, it was literally like, okay, what if there's a Tinder for jobs? And we thought, yeah, that's a cool idea, but what would make us different? Who would we make this for? What industries would we target? Like, why would somebody want to choose Swob versus a LinkedIn or an Indeed? And what we found was, students in particular were still printing out resumes, pounding the pavement, going out there, meeting employers. And it's like, so much has changed in our world. Everything is online, everything is digital, yet that process has still stayed the same. So that's why we really
Hmm.
built the app specifically for younger job seekers looking for part-time entry level roles that they're working, on the weekend, versus LinkedIn, where it's a little bit more on the professional side, where a teenager is not using LinkedIn to find an entry level role. They're going into a mall.
So what is it like, as a person that's looking for a job? What is it that makes super user friendly? Like, if I was an applicant or a young person looking for a job right now, what makes Swab a great like tool to utilize? And what are really the differences between utilizing Swab comparatively to like a ZipRecruiter or Indeed or LinkedIn, as you have said before?
For sure. I think, I used to work in advertising, and we worked on
Hmm.
apps before. And so, really understanding your user experience is everything. If you create something that's too complicated, no one is going to want to use it again. So, before we even launched, we worked with a prototype agency and created the app as a prototype. And we knew more or less how we wanted the design to look and feel. And what we did with the prototype agency is we held a ton of focus groups. And what we did was we had, a bunch of students in a room, gave them a cell phone, or they had their own cell phone, downloaded the prototype, and they were using it. And we thought, any changes we're going to make, it's going to be in the prototype stage. It's a lot easier to do it before you've launched. And students were getting it right away. And I think especially having something like Tinder for jobs, people just understand automatically the swipe left and right. Like, it's crazy.
Yep.
Sometimes we'll be wearing a shirt that says Swab and swipe to find a job with banners, and people will come up to us and say, is this like Tinder but for jobs? So
Perfect.
like, they get it right away. So
Mhm.
having something that's
Yeah.
already out there, already so popular, really helps us with our messaging. And it's familiar nowadays to swipe left and right. Like it's a part of our, human habit now. So I
It
think
is,
really,
absolutely.
exactly, making something that's super simple, like all of our questions are click through. We know that even for myself, I don't want to type a full out resume on my cell phone. Like I want it to be simple and easy. So in that prototype stage, I remember getting feedback from people saying like, can we download this now? Is this available now? And they got it right away. And it's like, no, it's a prototype right now, but amazing feedback. And it was then that we realized, we just have to keep our messaging short and simple. And even our mission is to be super simple and easy to use.
I think because resume writing isn't an easy feat even for the most experienced. So if you can go through something like a profile and click, and it kind of puts and builds that for you, it's much easier, I would think, as a candidate looking, if you're not 100% sure what you should have on a resume, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And one of the things that we have within Swob is when you're building your profile, and all the questions again are click through. When you're building your profile, we have a feature where it's a generated resume. So if you don't have a resume yet, this is you're in high school and it's your very first job that you're looking for, we can actually generate your questions and put a basic template that's a resume. Of course, we always encourage you upload your own resume, create your own, because this is just very basic. It's meant to be a backup, but it's there for you. Even if you want to use the layout of the generated resume to create your own, like whatever we can do to help you. But yeah, again, just keeping it super simple and easy. Like that's our goal. It shouldn't be difficult to look for a part-time job.
Right.
Key.
Sorry.
But that kind of brings me to my next question, which we got to talk about the giant elephant in the room that nobody really wants to acknowledge. I don't. What are the trends that you've noticed that have happened since, like the trends in recruitment through Swob, ever since, COVID-19 hit, ever since we've dealt with this coronavirus in the last few months? What's changed? What are things that are kind of adapting for you?
Yeah, so for us, it's really, so on the employer side, again, because we target employers in the retail industry, employers in the food service industry, we know right now they're closed. And, they're definitely not hiring at this moment. So what we've done is for our clients, we've said like, hey, we understand you're in this situation. We'll pause your accounts right now for you. And it was something that I think what we're noticing, a lot of people are really just, we're in this together and no one's here to make a quick buck. Like it's about helping each other out in a time of need. So even doing something like that was like, oh, thank you so much, because this took something off my to-do list. And whatever we can do to help support. So I think for us right now, we've really seen, some more companies like grocery stores, M&M Food Market, for example, is a company that's posting with us right now. And their stores are going crazy and they need people right away. So things that we can do to help, whether it's like help them set up their profile, help them post a job, whatever we can do to help support the clients, because we know this is a crazy time. It's a unique time that we're living in. So I think for us, it's really just understanding the client needs and what they're looking for and helping them in ways that we haven't before. Yes, we're always here to help support if you need something with your profile, but we're living in a different time. So I think some trends that we're seeing is definitely a lot of people are more helpful right now. And, they kind of have that, like I said, we're in it together kind of mentality that we're here to help. Whatever we can do to help support them right now is our mission. And yeah, like companies are still hiring. So, something about Swob is they can host an interview over the phone. They can screen the candidates over the website. So you don't have to necessarily accept a resume. And I don't think anybody really wants to walk around right now with their resumes anyways. That's something that we're doing with our users. And even on the user side, we're seeing a lot of, the students, they're still looking for jobs. People are losing their jobs like crazy. Yes, we have students, but we also have an older target audience who's using the app as well. It's still a free job app. So these people are still very active on Swob. We're trying to do different things too with our users, whether it's hosting workshops, We've created a brand ambassador campaign, a verified candidate campaign. So these are campaigns that will help our users gain experience while working at home. So they can do things like refer some friends to use Swob, create some social media posts for us, you know, I don't know, maybe help out with an email, like just something that they can do to put us on their resume and help get that experience while they're at home. Maybe it's looking at some research for us. Like, I don't know yet what that is, but you know, helping them right now is you know, crucial. And how are you supposed to get work experience when you can't get experience and can't compare?
Yep.
So
Fair enough. And that seems to be. So go ahead.
I was going to say, like, that's pretty much what we're trying to do on even the employer side. So with the employers, we haven't really seen, like, what we've seen is more, if people need staff, they need staff right away. And they're hiring right away. So we have one extreme where they're paused and it's like, hey, you know, once this is all over, we're going to need you and we need to hire in bulk. And then we have the other extreme where it's happening fast and we need people right away. So for us, that's kind of what we've seen on the employer side. But for student side, still looking to gain more experience. And like, we're doing things even with, like, partnering with a food handling company. So they give out certificates for food train. So it's food training and it's a online certificate, 6 hours, an online course, and Swob users get a discount. So it's things like that to say, hey, put this on your resume, build your resume now, because this isn't going to be our life forever. And once this is all done, like, you want to stand out and have something different on your resume from someone else.
Okay.
That's massive. So you guys not only have incorporated the ability to help out employers, but, you know, correct me if I'm wrong from what I just heard, you're taking the initiative to actually allow some of these students to get some real world experience while being at home.
Yeah.
That's like the internship that everybody wants. So if you're looking for an internship, you just call these guys right here, okay?
Thank you.
I think it would be worth the time. Stephanie, there's something else that I that comes to mind, and I'm just going to say it because I have to ask, how is it working with your brother? Like, in a partnership, we all know, working in with any partnership, you know, there's differences that come, difference of opinion. There's, you know, everybody kind of has their own 2 cents to add. And Tracy and I here could definitely tell you that there's times where we butt heads, but there's times where we cry. Where we cry and we're so thankful for each other. And I mean, especially having to work remotely like this, what's it like for you two?
Yeah, so we get this question quite a bit. People are always like, sometimes we've been asked, is there a third sibling that you guys just kicked out and didn't have a part of Swob? So no, it is just the two of us. It is, you know, it's incredible actually working with a sibling, and it's something that is so unique. We like to say his strengths are my weaknesses, my strengths are his weaknesses. And the nice thing about working with a sibling is, yeah, 100%. At times we are, you know, banging heads. We are not agreeing on something, but that's the beauty of it, is that we can not argue, but have a difference of opinions. And it comes out, you know, that we come up with an idea we both didn't even think of, because we both are talking about different things. And the nice thing too about working with a sibling is, if he doesn't agree with me or if I don't agree with him on something, we could say it and then move on. I don't have to kind of think and tippy-toe around it and think, like, is he going to get offended? Like, I just speak my mind, he speaks his mind. Okay, if we don't agree, that's fine. Done. On to the next thing. Like, our main goal is to, of course, grow Swob, continue what we're doing. And it's definitely, yeah, at times we're brother and sister. Of course we're going to argue, but it's a pretty awesome working together. And it's nice to see that we've built something together where it was an idea and now it's helping people get jobs. So it's pretty insane to be on this journey together.
It's 100%. And Stephanie, like, I think I've mentioned it maybe before, but we've done some diving on your Instagram. We've done some really cute sibling photos, of which will be displayed. we did send Stephanie some of these questions beforehand. She has no idea which one she's going to answer today, though. Stephanie?
Yes.
You've got all of 10 seconds to answer each question, okay? So fast and furious. The first question is going to be, are you ready?
Yes.
Have you cut your hair yet while shelter from baby?
Done a tiny trim, but clearly it hasn't done anything. So I thought, no, stop messing up your hair. You're going to wait for everything to come back and have a professional do it. So I have tried, and I thought, no, this is
yeah, I know. Painful experience. I actually had to cut hair. I don't cut hair. I don't do any of that stuff. And I had to cut hair here for my son. And it was horrible. And he looks awful, but we'll fix it. It's fixable.
And that's what I'm fearful of.
Yeah.
I keep telling my husband I can fix hair, but I know I can't.
Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. So I have a quick question for you too. Did you bulk purchase anything before we had to go into this little shelter in place?
Okay, it might not have been the best thing, but it is a good thing at the same time. We had a good amount of toilet paper before, so we were okay on that front.
Right.
A lot of chocolate, and is that really a necessity? I don't know, but it's chocolate. So
it's a necessity for me. Are you having Groundhog Day? Do you feel like every day is sort of the same thing every day?
Not necessarily. I think because we keep thinking about new ideas. What are we going to do next to stay busy? So for us, I haven't felt like that just yet.
Good.
Is it going to happen? Maybe, but I think we're keeping busy and trying to find new things that we can do. And even sometimes, I took a walk before and I thought about something new. So it's just sometimes taking a step back and taking that break really helps.
Awesome. Okay.
I love that. All right, Stephanie, I would love for you to tell our audience and everything about what's up and coming for Swob, how they can find Swob, where they can download Swob. Of course, just for everybody to know, we're going to be putting all that information here below in the comments. Also, we'll place it on the video so you guys can quickly go through pretty quickly. So, Stephanie, you have the floor for our audience. Tell them where they can find you and what's upcoming.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. If you are an employer looking to hire, you can visit Swob's website at swobapp.com. If you are a job seeker, you can download Swob free in the App Store or Google Play. And some of the things that are up and coming is our brand ambassador program. So if you need experience and you're looking for that while at home, we got you. So send us an email at info@swobapp. Swob is officially now available throughout the country, so we're really excited about that. And something new that's coming up is we're working on our U.S. expansion. So if there's any U.S. partners out there, we're
wow.
There's also one thing that you haven't mentioned that I think that employers that are looking for new employees should know about, and it's stated right on your website, so I hope you don't mind when I say this. If you are interested in utilizing Swob as an employer, you got 30 days for free to check them out, which is, okay, where are you going to get? You're not going to get that anywhere. Let's talk about evolution of tomorrow and recruiting in the day of the pandemic and what's going to happen after the fact. Paperless is key. And what I see as the future, and Tracy sees as the future, is accessibility for your candidates. So honestly, Stephanie, take up to your time. Check them out. Get your Swob on. That's swiping jobs. Don't think about it anything else. But at the end of the day, Swob it up, folks. I think that if you haven't checked out this app, it's time for you to do so as an employer or as a potential person looking for a job. And I don't care if you are a millennial, a zennial, a Gen Xer, or a baby boomer. This is for you.
Oh, thank you so much. And
Thanks, that's all.
Awesome. Thank you.